fantastic. Everybody's going, there's no way Chris could be live right now. There's no way. Oh, there's no way he could be. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Josh D, Mike Knapp, Corey. What's going on, Corey? Mimi Reacts. Haiti Facaro? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, so forgive me. Diane Schroeder. Schroeder? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's see. Yeah, I was actually testing this microphone because I had this. I bought this a while back. And for some reason, I tried one of these other little cheapy microphones that are supposed to be for gaming computers, right? It's got these little LEDs that change colors and all that goofy little stuff. And I get the thing home and it's got like this buzzing in it and everything else. I'm like, what is going on with this mic? And of course, you had to literally have the thing up to your face just to talk into it. So I thought it was kind of comical. I think it was like $10. It was like super cheap, right? So I was like, I took the chance. Just, if anything, the lights were pretty, right? So I was like, oh, well, no big deal. So I had this mic. This is a Samson mic, which are really good mics. I've also got the lapel mic I usually wear. That's a Samson as well. I swear by these microphones. They're just really good sounding mics. And so for some reason, it wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. Come to find out, I had the wrong USB. For some reason, it was a faulty USB cord. So I was like, oh, that'll do it every time. But it's working now. So that's the testing part. I was just kind of messing around with this thing. And I'm saying, I don't know what the deal is with this thing, but we need to straighten it out. So I think we got it. I think she's working. 786 Auto, what's going on? Pete's Vlogs, what's happening? I think his name's Simo, and I'm not sure the last name. I really don't want to butcher that. Bo About 6, what's going on? He said, what's up, Chris? What's going on, folks? I know you're all perplexed, like, what is going on here, right? Blue Utopia, what's happening? Like I said, I started off just kind of messing around with this, but as you can see, there also is an anniversary of our good friend Sarah, who's passed on. You know that. It's her 1-year anniversary. And there's a couple kind of like thank yous that Julia wanted me to. That was, of course, her good friend, her very close friend. They were roommates and everything else. She wanted me to share with you folks as well. So we'll be doing that. And if you want, we can also do, while we're here, do a Gigapan search. That's up to you folks, right? Or we could just chit-chat. You guys tell me what you want to do. So, let's see. Riccardo Petrozzi, what's going on? Yeah, so, oh, hello. Just happened to log in and see you live. Yeah, I was just like I said, everybody's probably going, no way, he can't be live. He doesn't even put out videos on Wednesday. What's the deal here? But like I said, as it says, I was just testing this mic out. And of course, I was going to share something with you from Julia, which was also from our good friend Sarah, who's passed on as well. And like I said, we can do anything you want. We can chit-chat it, or we can go over a Gigapan, whatever you folks want to do. Yeah, I appreciate that, Cameron. I hope you do too. I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving. That's awesome. Let me get this thing right here. Hold on. Where's this side here? Well, we'll put it over here. Don't want it in the way of the camera either. Let's see. I got this set wrong. Let's go to live. Antifasta Amigo, what's going on? He said, hi, Chris. I have an experience I'd like to share with you privately that might be a missing piece, I'm sorry. And this lunar mining infrastructure we are seeing. Do you have a contact email? I do. It's marsanomalies@aol.com. I know that's a shock to people. Going, it's really still using AOL? It works. And it's just easy for everybody to remember. So, yeah. Oh, okay, I got it. Those are Finish alphabet. Okay, I got you. Okay. Because I'm like, I'm not sure. Steve Garner, what's going on? It's Wednesday. I'm stuck on a train. That ain't good. Let me guess. Going to work or coming back from work? Trains. Damn, I can't remember the last time I took a train. Or a bus for that matter. Living in town, man, that's all you do is just grab buses. Especially when you were young, you didn't have a car. That was kind of funny. Me and my buddy Alman, we used to go up to the mall. Of course, you know, you were young. You were trying to get phone numbers and everything else from girls and stuff. It could be 5 below zero. Like, is this worth it? Oh, God. The things you do when you're a teenager. Gotta love it. No Taz knows. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Looks like it's a little separation there, but he says, hello, what's going on? Let me see if this thing, I guess my audio is pretty high. You guys not have to turn up the volume or anything, right? Because I can increase it if you guys are having an issue there. It should be pretty much spot on, or maybe a hair bit under, but it should be all right. Mimi Reacts, your question was, Chris, will you do a hangout on Friday? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. We're going to be getting together for family and stuff like that, and I do have family coming in on Friday, so I'm not sure, but I'll put it in the community post. So just, just go right to the community. I'll put it on there if there's going to be one or not. I probably will actually still be on because that's not until, we're going to be doing that early, so that shouldn't be an issue. But just make sure, check it out in the morning. Because if I'm not going to have it, I'll have it on. I'll make sure I put it mid-morning my time and Eastern time. So. Steve Goddard says, on my way home from a Westfield shopping in London. Oof. Are trains actually basically jammed now? In other words, they have like a ton of people on these things. I know, like, if you go to common sense, if you go to like big cities like New York City, things like that, the subways and trains, and basically butts and elbows. Like, oh, excuse me, you can't move without hitting somebody, right? So, yeah. Oh, okay. Let's just pump it up just a hair bit more then. Just a hair bit. All right, that should be a hair bit better right there, right? Ricardo, he said about 1 to 2 dB lower than normal, Chris. I don't want it to overdrive because then it sounds like that kind of overdriven, sound staticky and stuff like that. So it should be a hair bit better right there, right? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I'm looking at the actual VU on here, and it's actually showing where I usually am anyway, typically. And what I do is I have like a base volume I use on this, where on my computer, if I play it back, I have it at 20 on the volume, and usually I get a pretty good sense of where the volume should be, right? So it shouldn't be too bad right now. All right. Thanks, Chris, and thanks for your different work exposing the biggest story in human history. Well, I mean, it's... And wait till you see the next photo. I got one coming up for you tomorrow, and that should come on about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's basically going to be on like an auto. It's on auto, so it's going to automatically come on. Because I'll be busy tomorrow with the family and stuff like that. But it'll come on. There won't be a link right away because I can't be there and load it at the same time. And it won't allow you to do it until you post a video. So there's a catch-22 kind of thing going on. But it will automatically come on. You guys can watch it if you like. It's going to be on, like I said, 10 o'clock in the morning. So before, everybody jumps in to eat or whatever and gets good and fat like I will. Yeah, right. But anyway, most of the time we'll eat a lot. And, of course, you'll have to probably... swim the, Pacific Ocean just to burn it off. But yeah, we'll see, right? Stephen Porter, what's going on? He said, hi, Chris from Cold Wales. I hear you, man. I mean, it was actually cooler yesterday here. It was like 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, presently, it's 56. But it's got about 2 to 7 miles an hour on the wind, which is not too bad. And it's showing the dew point's going to be around 27 degrees, so about 27 degrees tonight, roughly. It's usually the dew point is pretty much predicts what the low will be, right? So, yeah, fun. Renee V's going, what? Huh? What in the heck is he doing on? William M. Kennedy Jr., what's happening? John P. Adventures. What's going on, John P.? Alrighty. The Londoner says freezing in London. Yeah, it's really cold right about that time of year, isn't it? In London? Obviously, I don't live there, so. But that's from what I hear. Oh, okay. A couple of you guys are saying the audio is fine, 5x5. Sounding BBC quality, Chris. Sounding really good here. But yeah, I remember hearing that when I used to talk on the radio. It was great. You get all of these guys from shortwave and stuff like that. And when I talked on the CB, one triple nickel, they call it, 27.555.0, upper sideband, international call frequency, and be on there and just be talking and stuff like that. And I had a really good station back then. Easily pump out about 1,000 watts PEP, or peak envelope power. But a lot of times I didn't need it, especially if the conditions were right. I could do it on what they call a barefoot radio, just its own wattage, which would roughly be around 45 watts, which is really easy, easy to do. Mimi, you said they say that we might get snow soon, but don't believe it. I don't know. For the last couple years, they've been saying, oh, it's gonna be a bad winter. And of course, nothing, right? So I'm just wondering, at least for me, I'm feeling it different this year. It's almost like Mother Nature said, you know what? I thought about giving you guys fall, but we're gonna go ahead and skip that. Are you guys getting the same thing? I mean, it seems like it's the same way. At least that seems like that for me, right? I'm like, like I said, we've had 21 degrees this morning, and it's about 22 degrees that prior morning to that, yesterday morning. And I'm like, what is going on here? And it's frost everywhere. I said, oh, yeah, I look forward to that. I scrape a little bit. I said, no, let the car do the job. Let it heat up and defrost everything. My electric car, if I keep that plugged in overnight, I just hit a button on my remote and just heats everything up, ready to go. Mike Knapp says, Mimi, yep, snow is coming. Oh, yeah. How now, brown cow? Ricardo. Cameron, you said have a good stream, Chris, and good Thanksgiving. As always, stay safe, Chris. Are you taking off, Cameron? We just pop in real quick. William M., yes, I did. You said, have you seen the Cosmic Hoax? I did. In fact, I actually played it on my channel. You can go onto my, well, you've probably already seen it. That's why you're asking. But if you go on, if anybody else hasn't seen it, you can go on my regular home channel and search for it. You just look at them. I don't think it was that long ago. So you can just go back a little bit on the videos, and you'll see it, Cosmic Hoax, with Stephen Greer, I believe it was. Actually, a really good video. Or documentary, call it what you will. Really good. As assure you, I keep forgetting, I don't even know how, I could call you Lapis, I guess, but last but not least, hi Chris. What's going on? Good to see you in there. You get tongue twisted when you try to pronounce your name. Scotland down to 38 degrees just now. Well, that's not bad, though. I mean, of course, you're also, at what time right now? You're what, 5 hours ahead? So, you're still going to be around almost 8 o'clock, right? Let me see here. Winter is coming, you said to Londoner. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to get a butt whooping from it, too. Like I said, it just feels different this year. I don't know what it is. Like I said, maybe it's like I said, lack of fall. I mean, it's just like, well, halfway decent temperature, also, whoosh, yeah, I don't know. Just crazy. Let me see. Stephen Porter says, yep, snow forecast here for later this week, but only flurries. Yeah, so yeah, so the Londoner says it's basically, well, it's 1950, but it's 7:50. It would be my time in American time. But yep, just almost 8 o'clock. Mimi React says maybe due to the volcanic activity. we might get a colder winter. Anything's possible. And the way they predict it around here is like off the west coast. They'll have El Nino or El Nina, and depends on, of course, El Nino I think means angry boy or something like that. Or El Nina. So it's either going to be warmer or it's going to be colder, depending on which one it is. And this is, so they go by that. But I mean, they got the Farmer's Almanac, which, and the little groundhog. I don't believe any of that crap. I just go, hey, it's freaking cold out. How I go by it, right? So, yeah. Yeah, that's the only downside. I think you can talk to, I'm going to call you just Lapis. He said, talking to Josh D, gas is 3 times more costly, especially if my house is fully electric. So yeah, you basically that sucks. But I mean, if you do it right, I just installed a thermostat that's Wi-Fi and of course programmable, does all that crap. I can have the Amazon Dot control it right from here. I can just tell it to turn it up, or through the app on my phone. I don't care where you're at, just turn it up or down. So try to save a few dollars on the heat and stuff like that. And of course, I've got like blacked out curtains here that absorb sun. And I've got, from this room here, it gets real warm in here. And I have fans just blowing it out into the rest of the house. So kind of, so your cycles in between, or your time in between your heating cycles, it just extends it a little bit. So it actually helps. If it does, doesn't hurt, right? Oh, okay. He says, Lapis is okay. Hi. It's difficult for all. It is. It's kind of like, yes, and you're trying to talk and you're just like, my tongue's tripping on the words. But all right, as long as it's not an insult to you, that's fine. I don't want to do that either. Paul McCoon, what's going on? He said, I used to live in Amsterdam and Woensdright in the 90s. How was it over there? Let's Get Unknown says, absolutely bitter here in South Wales, even with the heat on. Man. I mean, mine's typically here. I mean, even the computers throw a bunch of heat off. It's like, if I was to take this thermometer here, which is right on the back wall, you got heat that's rising from these computers that shows like 76 degrees, which is not a bad thing because it sucks in the cooler air in the front here. And, of course, the heat goes up and it rises to the roof, and then the fans take it out to the rest of the house, which is like built into the wall above the door. Actually, my house comes with that. It's actually factory. There's like just a vent. That's it. So I just took one side of that vent off on this side of the wall and put 2 5-inch fans that are on a timer, and they just come on and off whatever time you want to set them for. So as soon as sun comes up, the right around 8 o'clock, the heat will drop down for during the day. Nobody else is home but me. And then by the time the room's warmed up in here, then that fan comes on around 7:30, and then it works trying to keep the temperature up with the heat down low. So we'll see how it works. That was the first year I put the fans in here and stuff like that. So, and of course the thermostat as well. Arts and Grass says, rest in peace, Sarah. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, it really sucks. But like I said, we got a message for you guys. Like I said, Julie wanted me to pass it along. It's basically 2 actually notes. One's like a little story, like I said, of how she, like her, and because they were roommates, they were really close anyway. And she called her like her beloved Sarah kind of thing. And it was just cool to hear the way the story went. Now I remember Sarah. She was she had told me when she first subbed. She says, I did a moon video, and she's saying, oh my God, this is the very same one that I've been actually looking at, where it shows the crater and it looks like there's a crane or some kind of mining going on there. And she said, I instantly subbed to the Lunar Anomalies, and of course the channel at the time. I don't think there was no there was no Lunar Anomalies. I don't think there was. So, but on this channel itself, and she said I immediately subbed, and that's when she's like, oh my God, check this out. And like I said, we had, basically it was almost like a father and daughter relationship. As many of you know, because I've actually told you the story about that and how we started talking on there. And she would talk about, sometimes she's bummed out and have issues as a young lady would and stuff like that. And I've got 2 daughters, so I pretty much gave her the same advice I do my own daughters, of course, and she started calling me dad and everything else, which was really cool, But didn't make it any easier when I heard that she had cancer. It really sucked. And I'm going, damn, somebody cut down like this. And here's the thing, a researcher. Good God, man. And, so I feel saddened about it every time, like, May 15th was her birthday. That's when she was born in 1996. And my son was born he was May 12th. So kind of easy to remember. And then, of course, her passing, last year. So, yeah, I mean, it's like you get bummed out from it all the time. But on the other side of the token, you say, I'm just happy because she was just that kind of person anyway. She would just just radiate these nice feelings and love for everybody. And, it's just cool. And the idea was she wouldn't let anything get her down. But at times she was. And just like everybody else, we all get that way. Not everything is like rainbows and lollipops, right? So everybody gets that way. Ricardo, he said, I think Sarah would want us to be having a whale of a time. Not at all down about it. I got the nicest email from her a few weeks before she passed away. Lovely person. Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys now. There's actually two of them, like I said. I'll read this one here first. It says, Christopher and community, thank you all for the love and kindness you all shared over Sarah Michelle. I keep wanting to say Michelle, which, it's wrong. Over the years. My Sarah loved each and every one of you so very, very much. With love, Julia and Gali. Now, that one there, and then, of course, we get to one, it was basically like a little story, right? Says, on a quiet autumn day on West 11th Street on the lower west side of Manhattan in my sophomore year at New York University, my roommate, hold on, let me get this thing here. Here we go. My roommate, Sarah Michelle, squealed with delight at something she was viewing, on her Mac and said excitingly, Jules, get in here. You're not going to believe what I found. It was in that, let me get my face out of here. You guys can see the pictures too. Not that it's like I'm really in the way here. But it was in that single moment, comported by that single exciting sentence uttered in my direction, that I began this incredible journey from Lower Manhattan to the moon, Mars, and Antarctica, and finally here today on the YouTube channel of the most respected investigative journalist on the internet, Mr. Christopher Maroney. So formal. And his band of enlightened subscribers, diehard fans, his unfans, and a sort-off Viagra-chewing trolls. That was good. What Sarah showed me shocked me, and I didn't believe it at first with my eyes. I recall fondly bending over the back of her chair so her eyes were at the same level, and in perfect harmony we both whispered, "What the F?" I will never ever forget that night, nor will I ever forget the kindness and love Christopher and all of you showed on my beautiful Sarah for the day they met until today. Sarah loved each and every one of you without prejudice. She looked at you all as brothers and sisters together on a beautiful and fantastic journey of truth and exactitude. As a result of this being the week marking the first anniversary of my beautiful Sarah's passing from this world into the next, I thought it'd be apt to reach out to all of you and give you a big warm hug and thank you all for showing my Sarah and love and kindness and respect she deserved, and for all the beautiful comments you all posted on Christopher's many videos featuring our work. Your comments during and after last week's live air had me in tears. Thank you all, and I wish you all God's grace and love on the journey of discovery today, tomorrow, and beyond. Thank you, Christopher. Sarah was right. You are a good and decent family man. Salute. So, thank you, Julie, for that. I do appreciate that. And like I said, she won't be missed. There's a lot of us here who just remember her as the person she was, as well as just a good-hearted person she was anyway. So, like I said, I actually turn that around and actually celebrate it more now, even though you do get that kind of weirdness in your heart, like, it's just, you're just down, kind of, you remember her, but it's sucky what happened to her, right? Nobody should be cut down at that age, just turned 24 years old, and, but like I said, what was really sad was that when she was in there was at least, I'm trying to remember if it was like at least 3 or 4 girls that were close to her in there. They all had cancer. Some of them were 9, one was 7, passed away before she did. I'm going, good Lord, really? Wow. You know, I don't know why they don't just come out with the actual cure for cancer. You know they've got it. Come on now. They could easily do that, but it's a multi-billion-dollar business, so they're not going to stop that anytime soon. It's like tires. They can make a tire that lasts forever on a car. Why would they do that? It'll put people out of work. There's money being made, so on and so forth, right? I'm sure they can make a car that lasts forever. They could do that. Why would they do that? Think about it. Build a car all out of a metal, any metal that will not rust, stainless steel, things like that. Of course, pure stainless steel. And they can make something that would run forever. Why would they do that? It would put everybody out of business. Can't have that. And just like the pharmaceutical companies, all crap. So, yeah. Lots of crafts. He said, holds back tears. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I get bummed out when I think about it, and every time, it's our first anniversary, but as far as I think about it, I look at the Antarctica photos and the stuff that she's brought to the public for people to see, and you get kind of bummed out. But then you go, you know what, though? That's cool. It's cool that she was able to do that. And this is the reason why it was so important for me to get the thesis out she had and put that in a rolling book so that her work will live on. There's one that was pre her passing, and the other one was after. So Julia was very instrumental on getting a lot of that done, to put it together. That's why we had the one that's a little bit longer. I think it's almost an hour longer. But more information, more science, more research put into it. I'm glad that the thumbs down made it here, even though I'm not usually here on a Friday, so kudos to you for being here. But the thing is, but now I kind of celebrate her work, and then of course she's not hurting or suffering, which is good. Nobody wants to see anybody do that, especially if it's a loved one. I don't know if you guys can hear that. You won't hear it because she's kind of quiet right there. My cat's actually scratching at the door, and now you can hear doom, 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 and then she's she's crying too. That's pretty funny. Well, she's not crying, but she's kind of like meow, meow. Miss Here, you said Sarah was a very beautiful person. She was. Absolutely. Oh, it's just like Julia. She's got a very kind heart. She's just a good person. I mean, just like anybody else, they'll have their days, they'll have their moments. They're, too much on their plate, or the world gets in the way. You get frustrated. And, sometimes the people around you. But you got to always think positive and always think, get away from that kind of attitude and stay away from the toxicity, like the person with the thumbs down, their life must be completely toxic, and they've got nothing better to do with their lives. So they think, hey, you know what? Go ahead and give them that thumbs down. As long as it made your day, it's made mine. But yeah, I mean, celebrate. It's what it's all about. Lapis, he said, when my uncle in America died, he asked for a party to celebrate and remember. It's the best way. Yeah, because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, with all your loved ones, I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, sister, brother, whatever family member, even a close friend, the last thing anybody wants to do is, in one way you're going, well, I'm happy and at the thought of these people. Then you're going, yeah, but then I'm bummed out because of their passing. Well, you can't bring them back. So all you can do is celebrate the good times, right? And what they brought to your life, the public, whatever it may be. And that's the cool part. Mimi, you said, I'm sure there is a cure, but they are not interested in it. Well, I mean, yeah, because this big pharma is not going to do that. There's billions upon billions of dollars made every year just on cancer patients. Why would they want to cure that? It's all about money, baby. It's all about money. Yep. Let's Get Unknown says, money over people. Absolutely. Pete's Vlog says, I agree. Planetary Protector, he said, I like the Space 1989 wallpaper you have there, Chris. I've been binge watching it for a week. Yeah, I mean, that was ahead of its time. And I don't know about you guys. I love Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie, at least the old one. But they were so much, I don't know be honest, guys. Star Trek, as far as special effects and realistic, to Space 999. Which one do you think was better? Pat Owen says, happy Thanksgiving, Chris, and everyone. Right back at you, Pat. I hope you're having a good one, too, or you will have a good one. Because I think some countries already had theirs, haven't they? Or is it a little bit later? You guys can fill me in, because I'm not sure about around the world. Yeah. I love Space 1999. It was I actually had the Eagle too. I actually had the Eagle, so it was pretty cool. Wish I would have kept the darn thing. It's worth like buku dollars now. There you go, Alien Tenno. Yeah, funny how they can make nuclear warheads that last forever. Huh? Hey, yeah, imagine that. Odds of Craft, she said it was beautifully written too. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, she was very articulate anyway. She was just a very good speaker and stuff like that, where I'm not. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just from the streets. But the thing is, it's like she was very articulate. And same thing with Julia. She's the same way. But that's probably why they got along so well, is that they were, you know what I mean? Because like almost like the same person will attract, and well, not always, but most of the time, depending on how intellectual and everything else that you are, and so on and so forth. Let me see. Everybody's like, let her in, let her in. Man, poor cat, she's old too. She's like, what, 16, going on 17? Let me see here. She's still at the door. She stopped scratching it, but let's see. Come here. All right. Trying to meet the people. All right. What are you doing, baby? Here, somebody was drinking water. What are you doing? Hi. What are you doing, baby? Actually, I have two cats. One just passed away last year. No, I'm sorry, 2 years ago. And, of course, this one here, Smokey. My baby. But I think she was going to the bathroom, so that may not be a good idea to hold her. And being that she's 16. Let's put her back out here. Want to go back over there? Now, because I said that, she'll be back at the door. Watch. She'll be back at the door. Let me see. Now, believe it or not, I actually got rid of somebody because I thought they were being rude. Because I said, bring on the Usi pay, if you know what I mean. So I was like, I got rid of them thinking that they were talking trash. But let me see here. Which is kind of the way it was, but. Let me see. I'll bring them back. Let's just be nice, though. Okay, there we go. Let me bring that back over here. Well, hold on. Okay. Why is that not working? Okay. There it goes. Josh D, you said, Chris, Thanksgiving is a pure U.S. thing. Pilgrim father landed there only. Yeah, it wasn't even that, though. Pilgrims, you know, you got everybody says these people were the first ones here. No, they weren't. The Vikings were. And the Vikings weren't even the first people here. They were indigenous Indians. Yeah. Tony Gibbs, you said, thanks, Chris. Anyone that had any contact with Sarah will never forget the beautiful young lady and such a determined and genuinely brilliant and analytical mind, so accomplished. You got that right. Let me see. Dang, dang, kitty cat, Pat Owen says. I like that. We demand the cat. Yeah, but she's like I said, she's old. She's like I said, she's 16 going on 17, and I've got another cat. She's 1 year younger than her. She's like 2 to 3 times the size of her, and well, she's not very big anyway. But and I had another one pass on me about 2 years ago. It was our first cat. I swear she was like reincarnated into a cat because I think she was a dog in a prior life. Because you could throw these zip ties around. She'd go grab it and bring it back. She'd fetch it and bring it right. I could sit Indian style on the floor. She'd bring it right back to me and drop her right in my lap. Funny as heck. I thought maybe she was either pot dog or she was for a prior life. She was a dog. One of the two. Kevin T says, made it. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you there, man. Let's get unknown. You said, lost my dad to it and my wife, both way too young. They could still be here. They could still be here if not for money and big pharma. You're spot on. They can make anything last forever, but it's not in their best interest. Yeah, I mean that's true, and my apologies for your loss. You know what loss is, right? I hate to hear that, because it's like it's so unpredictable too, right? Now I know they say obviously if genetics, it makes it worse, or it could be anything, could trigger it off. Because I think everybody has like a cancer cell, so to speak, in their body, but you got like these other cells that stop her from getting triggered or just like becoming, active or whatever. But regardless of it, it's still not a good thing, I had my grandfather, my mom and dad still alive. My grandfather died of, I think it was colon cancer, and my uncle, which is the same thing Sarah died of, was multiple myeloma. So it's not a good thing. So it hit me, excuse me, it hit me hard when I was told it, when Sarah told me about that, and because I knew exactly what she was going through, because my uncle went through it. So I knew exactly what she was talking about, and I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding. So yeah, I wasn't a very happy camper when I found out about it. Another thumbs down. I do appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Gotta love him. Got to love him. Even next to Thanksgiving, folks. You know what's really weird, and I know you guys have seen this yourselves. Like at the store where I work at, it's funny because as the time goes by and you get closer to holidays, people get worse. Is it me, or is it just, maybe it's a local thing, maybe it's something in the water, but for some reason people just get worse. They just go off the deep end, and not everybody, but there's quite a few people who still do, right? It's like, what is going on here? Yep, I'm surprised. Just give them all the love you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Double D's house. We're not even going to get into that. We're not even going to entertain that garbage. Have a great day. Really? You guys can't see that? You said, Josh D, you said we cannot see the thumbs down figures anymore, it seems. Huh. That's weird. Can you at least see the thumbs up? Yeah, Ricardo, I was just thinking the same thing when I seen Double D's house. I have no interest in that. No, I'm not going to entertain garbage. I can't. Sorry. Anybody with half a brain knows that the world's not flat. So, if you choose to believe that, then go for it. But you're closed-minded and ignorant. Take that garbage back to, what's his name, that other channel that believes all that crap, the other cult leader. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Arts and Crafts, you said, if you work in retail, then people go crazy at this time. Well, you think they'd be more laid back, more humble, like they're just chilling. Oh, I'm so happy. Because here's the thing. The only reason why I'd get worked up is if I'm doing it to myself. In other words, I procrastinate. I forget to go out and get food. I forget, Christmas is coming up. Oh, I forgot to get gifts. Now I got to hurry up and I got to run around and go crazy and all that. Yeah. So Mimi, yeah. Chris, I worked in retail during Christmas season, and people went ape shit. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, people literally lose their frickin' minds. Tony Gibbs said, gotta run, getting stuff ready for tomorrow. You are the best group of people. Chris, take care, and thanks for all that you do for us and taking the time for dear Sarah. Bye, guys. All right, Tony, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. You and your family have yourself a good Thanksgiving there, right? Be safe. Where did it just go? I just read a comment. Where did it just go? This thing just jumped on me. Oh, there you go. Pete's Vlog, you said your question was, Chris, do you believe that your DNA can be altered if you stay very long out in space? Yes, it can be. I forget exactly the reason why they say that. I'm not sure if it's the particles out from, being exposed in the sunlight, so on and so forth. But yeah, it can be. That's what they're saying. Jay McGuffey, yeah, you see them, right? You see the little 2 thumbs down, right? Poor little souls. They must be lost. What do you think? Probably these people that just sit in their basement all day, in mommy's basement. I hate you, man. Thumbs down. Gotta love it. Exactly, Mimi. Yeah, Paul, thumbs down guy. Oh, love it. You're right about that, Silverback74. You said people get worse because of the corona mandates the government demanded. At least, that's what I think. Well, here's the funny part. I don't know about you guys, but I just saw this, I think it was yesterday, where Germany it's going to be the law. You actually have to get the shots. That's it. It's the law. I think it was Australia and New Zealand. They were talking about it too. It's the way the guy, I don't know if it's whatever they call them down there, they're government officials, but they said everybody will have to get it. And basically he says it right out. He says, because if you don't get it, of course we'll come find you. And I'm thinking to myself, did he just say that? I'm going, oh my God, what is this world coming to? Seriously, what is it coming to? It makes no sense. I had a woman say this to me the other day because I said, oh, heck no. She must have overheard me say, I'm not getting a shot. And you know what she said to me? Well, that's very selfish of you, blah, 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 blah. So I went like this way. I said, let me ask you a question. She was a young lady. She wasn't very old. Let me ask you a question. Tomorrow, God forbid, you get raped. Okay? God forbid. So, of course, it's traumatic, PTSD, all this other stuff. You literally are totally out of your mind. You got to get help and stuff like that. Then you're like, well, I can't deal with being pregnant with this person. I'm sorry. The new law is you don't have a choice over your own body. How would you feel about that? Well, she just choked up. She didn't know what to say. Stop letting the government try to tell you what to do with your body. That's not right. That's not right. What's next, folks? What's next? Ricardo, no, I thought it was either Australia or New Zealand, but I could be wrong. You might be right. Is it Austria that are mandating the jab? They're literally saying you have to get it. There is no way around it. I'm like, no. If they said that to me, well, anybody who's like working, well, I just quit my job and just do this full time. That's all. I mean, and if they say, well, no, now it's a mandate, everybody's got to get it, and you got to pass through these roads that have these roadblocks and these checks to see if you get your card. Oh, well, I'll stay home. Lapis, you said newest news, the health system will be taken away for the people who haven't been haven't had the shots. Is that what you're saying? I am Merkin. What's going on? Imagine being second or third generation on Mars and never had been to Earth. What a wonderful experience. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like shit. At this point, if it was like a normal way to go, like in other words, it was just a norm. Taking people back and forth to Mars. Save me a seat. I'm out. Where did it just go? Okay, so you're confirming too, Justy. You said not just Germany, but also Austria now and Holland discussed. I don't get it. I just don't understand. Where are your rights, man? What's with the dictatorship? What is going on? I've never seen this. I know you people, there's many of you people in my age, if not, of course, younger too, and maybe even older. What I get a kick out of it, I'm going, Never in my life do I ever remember doing this. Ever. Having to, I mean, like I said, we got this bonehead that's our governor here. He's like, no bullshit, guys. You can win $1.5 million. You can own a Ford pickup truck. You can get free tickets to local games. I mean, the list goes on. I'm going, I've never, ever in my life heard of this. Ever. Why the big push? Oh, because we're trying to get rid of this. Whatever. If nobody ever got the shot, this is no BS. If nobody ever got the shot, they would get it. They would get COVID. They'd get over it, and they'd be fine. They'd have natural immunity. Now, of course, not everybody would. We all know that. But you also got to remember there's people who got the double jab. I know people even got the actual booster already, and they still got COVID. They failed at this vaccine. They will not admit it, but they failed at it. This is the reason why, now, if they said, no, we perfected it, everybody who gets it now, there's no issues, everybody's fine, I may consider it. I'm not stupid, but I'm also not dumb to the fact that I'm just not going to be a guinea pig and just hope for the best. There's now all kinds of studies being done that a lot of people who got the shot got an inflamed heart. Why? They're having major issues. This is the reason why all of the states here in the United States they're working at it to buck that so that come January, because it's supposed to be major mandated, they're going, no, we're not doing it. Florida and 2 other states, I think, right now are starting it. They need to, just tell the government to go F themselves. Enough is enough. And people need to start standing up to this. Will Strong Neverstar, he said, F that, my body, my choice. I do not consent. There you go. But if you lived in Germany, oh no, you don't have a say. That's what the world's coming to. And if all they got to do is just look at you on the roster and they go, okay, all the people have all gotten it. They look at this and all of a sudden, boom, this name comes up and says, well, it's not in the system. They didn't get the shot yet. Okay, go get them. What? Are we back in concentration camps again, folks? What's going on here? Are you kidding me? Mackie Bolin. Hello from Baltic Sea. What's going on there, Mackie? Pat Owen says, I would not take the jab for all the money in the universe. Don't blame you. And this is coming from a guy who had it. Double pneumonia. But again, I researched. I looked at scientists who give this information to the doctors, hand it down to the hospitals and the doctors. And when a scientist says this, it's like a bioscience, and I forget exactly the title because he's had more than one title. He's saying literally right now we're seeing more upticks in HIV. We're seeing more upticks in cancers. We're seeing more upticks in this. All because people getting shots. It's literally messing with your autoimmune. So therefore, it's opening your body up to take anything that comes down the pike. You're going to get it. And it's not a damn thing you're going to do about it. I don't think I want to subject myself to that. So, I think it is everybody's choice to get it. I think you should if you feel safer. Because not everybody's affected by it. We know that. But that doesn't mean you won't be affected 3 to 5 years down the road. But a lot of people, I know friends of mine who said, listen, here's the deal. I've got, my grandfather, my grandmother, they live with them. And they said, I don't want to pass it along to them. And I said, you know what? Total respect. I get it. You don't want to have something happen to them. You may be fine, even if you caught COVID, and be just fine. But not your grandparents. So I can understand that. I do get that, You got to do what you got to do, I don't knock anybody for getting it. I'm just saying my personal views, I'm not going to get it. Unless I absolutely had to. Silverback 74, he said, vaccinated people have their DNA actually changed. So when there's 1% change in your DNA, technically you are no longer human. Heard something of that. Your question, heard something about that? Well, I mean, if it's not so much your DNA as it is your T cells and your C cells and everything else. That's what they're saying. So these cells protect your body against organisms and things that get into your body like cancer and stuff like that. But what happens if you render these cells useless? It's open season on your body. So, and I'm going, ugh. You know what I mean? I don't, here's a good example. My daughter and her boyfriend want to go to Ireland. They got to get the shots. So they're going to get the shots. And she was totally against it. I'm going, then why would you do this? But it is what it is. They do what they got to do. They're full-grown adults. Let them do what they got to do. Mimi, you said it's Austria. Austria, yeah, that's what I figured. You going way down here. Whoop, thing to jump big time on me here. Josh D said in Holland now, without vax, proof documents or app, you can go nowhere. Except I think he's saying except supermarkets, but the government wants to include that too. But the supermarket chains refuse up to now. Yeah, because here's the thing. This is what they don't get. You're literally crippling your own financial system. How many people have walked from their jobs? How many people died while on the job? It's funny. You've heard this argument before where doctors and nurses have walked off their job and they're saying, wait a minute, so we were completely frontline workers. We were heroes. We don't want the jab. You guys suck. Take a walk. Really? How do you go from that side of the pendulum to this side? How does that work? I'm sorry. That's wrong. That is wrong on so many levels. That's messed up, Mimi. You said, Chris, here in Germany, unvaccinated people are not paid anymore. They have the choice, get the vaccine or quit your job. See, that's messed up. It just doesn't make sense. How are people going to pay their bills? But what they don't realize is they're crippling their economy as well. I mean, you can't, inadvertently, it's going to go down the line, you're going to cripple your own economy. Because I don't know about you guys, but we've got ships offshore that not bringing merchandise to us. Why? They can't get anybody to work. Because somebody's brilliant idea to say, hey, when all this started, whatever you're getting for unemployment, we're going to tack on $600 more. And then, of course, went down to $300, then, $400 and then $300 and whatever. So people go, why would I want to work? I get paid more than what I do at my job. I don't care. I quit. So then the companies in these places can't get anybody to work. They can't get their job done. Therefore, you and I, as the end person, the public, get screwed. So it works its way down, folks. It trickles down. And we pay the price. They're like, well, then you should get vaccinated. No, that's not the answer. You're literally, infringing on people's rights. It's as simple as that. There you go, Ricardo. Earth, prison planet crossed with one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and the president is Jack Nicholson. Oh, sounds about right, though. That's sadly it's about right. Where does this thing just go? Yeah, exactly. Pete Ferrero, you said, what's going on? You said New York State Assemblyman wants to not pay what? Wants ins to not to pay for COVID-19 treatment if you haven't had the vaccine. Huh. Okay, I see what you're saying. See, they're just like scolding people for not getting it. It's like, wait a minute, it's my right. Flu shots every year. How many people get flu shots? Did they push that? Well, they go, well, that's a pandemic. Well, it's no longer a pandemic. I forget what they call it, but it's like a downgrade of pandemic. It's, to me, it just, I don't know. It's like people are being punished for that. It doesn't make any sense. And like I said, the people who get it say, well, you're being selfish. No, I'm not. I believe in my own rights. Now, I've had it. I recovered from it. And I've got more antibodies than 4 or 5 people who have been vaccinated with the double shots. This is fact. So, and of course, that's their argument now. Their argument is, well, what we need to do is, have it, so the mandate, if you have it, they want to recognize more about natural immunity, right? So if you've had it, and you can, prove that you had it, because obviously you have the papers that you got diagnosed with it, you show it to them. Obviously, if you're in the hospital, whatever, so you get documents regardless, right? Yeah, that will be interesting. Austin Crouch said, my twin has the jab and I don't. The next few years will be an interesting experiment. That's true. That's true. Walter Barger Sr. says, there is more to the vaccine than what meets the eye, and I watch other shows where they have tested the blood and had vaccine, and there's stuff in it, ferrofluid and other things not good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even know what the stuff is in there. Now, the doctors say, well, we know what's in it, so therefore, it's good for you. Just because somebody says that doesn't mean that it is. You know, I know people tell you alcohol is good for you. Yeah, get cocked every night. It's good for you. Yeah, until your liver starts crying. And, yeah. So, of course, it would be excessive drinking. You know that. Excuse me. You said, Pat Owen, you said they cannot force me to take a medical procedure. Well, basically, right? Tony P, what's happening? He said, I was in France last week, and everywhere you had to show the COVID passport and also a mask worn everywhere. Didn't they say there was another outbreak or something like that? Bowheads in 1969. It's a pandemic of stupid politicians. That we got plenty of. That's a fact. Oops. Pat, you said flu shots work as good as COVID shots. Well, I mean, if you think about it, the majority of what's in a COVID, and meaning your symptoms, is basically flu. So even if you got COVID, you can bet that the flu shot will actually minimize that too, right? Wouldn't it? Will Strong never die. He said they're killing celebrities. That is waking some up. Wendy Williams just got sick off the jab, never be back on. So they say. Well, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people are going, yeah, I believe them. I trust them. They get it, and what happens to them? How is that fair? And that's the other thing. You know, I tell people, I said, listen, I'm okay with anybody getting the jab. Again, personal thing. You either get it or you don't. I don't knock people for that. I personally would not get it. But I go, okay, but maybe, because they go, well, I don't know why people that are unvaccinated don't get it. Maybe they don't want to be a statistic. Think about it. Well, they say, well, I'm fine. Well, that may be good for you. You may be just perfectly okay and never have an issue. That doesn't mean the person next to you won't. Maybe people are a little bit more frightened about that. That's what they don't think about. And sadly, that could be true. Let me see here. Here. I wanted to show you this this pan as well. We'll jump into this pretty soon. Where this was just uploaded by Neville Thompson, and this was on the 23rd, so this was yesterday. And unless, of course, you guys are, way ahead, like in New Zealand or Australia, then it's no longer the 24th. But this was uploaded yesterday as far as my time. And this is like one of the areas that I had just done in a video where it has that block. And, of course, this looks like kind of there's a little bit of dirt here and there. It changes so drastically, folks, that it's sad. And there's another area I'm going to show you guys where we're also going to do a video. There's much more in this thing. Oh, my God. Again, I got one coming up tomorrow. It'll be like auto released. And then I have another one coming out that's it's in one of these areas, and you're going to see it. But there's some real kind of funky rocks when you look at this. And like I said, we'll jump into this. Well, that's what they're saying, Silverback. You said if you have the shot now, you'll lose your immunity. Well, that's what a lot of these people are saying. Now they're saying, no, it'll help boost your immunity. Well, wait a minute. Why would I need that when your shot is crap? It's only like 12 to 20 antibiotics where you get hundreds after you've had COVID. Now, I agree with people saying, yeah, but, there's a lot less chance of you getting it, or when you do get it, if you get it, it won't be as bad, okay? But what happens if I get the shot and I have all kinds of adverse, things happen to me after that? Inflamed heart, different other things go wrong. There's just a range of things could happen. People say, well, I had it. Millions of people had it. Okay. I applaud them. I have no problem with that. No disrespect. But that doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. And everybody here, I bet you've heard at least one story of somebody being incredibly ill, maybe even had to go to the hospital, and so on and so forth. Nobody wants to be a statistic. It's as simple as that. And I don't think they quite get that. Z Humble Pie said even the inventor of the spike protein said that the Pfizer and Moderna never received FDA approval, and any test done, they took the lesser quality and left out key procedures. Yes, I've heard that too, where they didn't do the proper testing, and they didn't actually tell you that a lot of these, because they had to do a lot more animal studies, that a lot of them things like the rats were literally, because they said something about I think I told you guys this, where it'll affect reproduction in women. Well, they said that it happened the same thing with rats, where and they're the most, I think they said they're the most sexually active kind of thing, animals, but they said even 16% of the group that they took, gave them all that shot, tested them, 16% of them already, they could not produce anymore. And they said there's a big tick, I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a big tick in stillborn babies and dead babies. Really? Seriously. So, yeah, I don't see any woman wanting to do that, especially being pregnant, right? Remember they said that? They were holding off that as far as pregnant women. Then they said, oh, it's okay, by the way. It's perfectly fine. We done tests, and we think it's fine. Everybody's body is slightly different. Whether it be your immune system, your DNA, slightly, whatever. It's just like everybody's a hair bit different. Not everybody's going to respond to this the same way. And that's why I say it's on everybody whether they want to get it or not. I don't crucify anybody for it. I don't think it's, I'm not going to, roast somebody for doing it. No, it's your prerogative. You do what you want. I don't see any harm in that. But if you live alone, or you live with, a spouse or whatever, and maybe you both had COVID, don't worry about it. You're good. There you go, Stephen Port. Chris at 60. I hope I don't get any get pregnant. Yeah, that'd be kind of bad, wouldn't it? The Humble Pie says, assuming we'll find out about Fauci's cruel experiments on homeless children. Sick is his experiments on those puppies, but chickens is a new level of evil. Yeah, I mean, they talked about that. What was his name? Mr. Cruz there. He basically roasted Fauci, I don't know how many times, saying that you lied. Why don't you just come out and say, and just take some responsibility? He won't do it. He will not do it. And then he tries to sidestep and beat around the bush and all kinds of other crazy stuff. It's wrong. Absolutely wrong. It's a crime against humanity to make people get this. And I say make. Again, if it's your choice, then they're not making you do anything, right? Richard Bunt, what's going on? He said, all you need is vitamin D. All you need is love. Oh, that and vitamin C, and I mean good-sized doses of it. That, and believe it or not, something like Airborne. The ingredients in that will, like, shorten a cold, beef up your immune system. But most of all, stay healthy. Yeah, exactly. So why are they forcing this? Silverback, you ask. Yeah. Yep. What's going on there, Mars the Second Genesis? Good to see you in there. I don't know if I said hi to you either, Daniel Webster. Yeah, there you go. This woman that I've been seeing and her brother were both bedridden after getting the shots. I know, I've heard stories where people get it and they literally couldn't walk the next day or whatever, and it took them a long time to recover after this. That's sad. That's crazy, right? All right, enough talk about that. Let's get into this. Let's look at some crazy rocks here, shall we? Sometimes it's just some crazy stuff here that it just, I don't know. When you look at a rock, you go, okay, I've seen many rocks, of course, here on Earth. We've seen all kinds of rocks. Again, I live in a mountainous state. It's like a snowflake. There's no two exact rocks, right? So they can vary in size depending if they're water, whether they've been, worn by water or air, sand blasting, basically, things of that nature. It's going to change. You know what I mean? It's going to have a different wear on them. don't know if he over sharpened this thing or what, because it has that weird kind of look to it. It's funny, you have like nice super smooth rocks, then you have like complete jagged rocks. It's like, okay, supposedly in Jezero Crater, it's supposed to be basically a lake floor. Or it's supposed to be, right? And of course, if you're in Curiosity Rover, you're in Gale Crater. So, you know, it depends on, you know, what rover you're talking about. But either way, there's some crazy looking rocks in here. Like this thing, this gray one right here in the middle of the screen. And the thing above it. Look at the shapes of these things, guys. And they try to blend it so much that you can't see the actual outline of said, I'll put it right here in the middle. Look at the way the lines of this thing run. This right here. Wish you could actually turn this and just rotate a little bit, but you can't. It's an actual online kind of thing, being online. But you can see the shapes of these things. If you tilt your head to the left, you can see these things. These don't look like a rock you would see anywhere, man. Oops, let me do this. Exactly, Jay. You said lake floor rocks, most will be smooth. Absolutely. Jay McGuffey said concrete is easily manipulated to look like rocks. Yeah, I've got one photo. You'd swear to God the Curiosity ran over something. You can see it's like really, really thick concrete. And then, of course, it's got the orange dust on it. And it's literally like a foot thick. And you can see it's from the top, and it's cut off at the bottom. And you can see broken parts of it laying around. And it's the same exact thickness, like it was a road at one point. How about a nice white brick to go with that? Look at that. I mean, I get like a clump of rocks. They'll give that weird shape sometimes. But some of these things, like, come on. They're not these group of rocks. They're not a rock. Something white right here. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. It's kind of like peeking out. You can actually see there's like quarter or half of a circle right there. Let me see if I can zoom into this a little bit more. Here we go. I don't know how clear that's going to be, though. Right there in the middle. And right there. Try to put it smack dab in the middle of the screen. Let me get my face out of this. You can see it a little bit better. Autographs. At this point, I would like to mention that I have a rock collection with hundreds of rocks easily. There you go, see? Maybe you can get a couple of these. They're only just funky looking rocks, right? It won't be too bad. You can see a lot of this too, like this. Look at this. You can't tell me that looks natural. Literally, somebody drew something over the, or it's AI. It's definitely artificially done. Some of it looks like there's like rips in it, almost like it's a skin, and it's been ripped apart, and you can see the, like, either framework or whatever the heck it may be in there. And I have to try to find that other area. You can tell 100% this is literally being, like, painted over or, dressed up to look that way. That's a nice boulder. Look at these things, guys. It almost looks like it has details on this one right here in the middle. Look at the tops up here. Like I said, I live in a mountainous state, folks. And I know a lot of you folks live where there's either mountains or, just even an area where there's rocks, just simple boulders and rocks. And they don't look anything like this. Nowhere. Look at this one here. At the top, I'm going to put it right in the center. It literally has this real faint circle. You guys see that? And something coming right out of the middle of it. And, of course, it's all kind of dressed up. See this right here? You can see this item. It's right here. It's got that point to it. Comes down below into this opening. It's almost like the CGI just went over it and did it kind of not good. Not very professional. But you can see that right here. Like they just put something over it. And yet this item is right here. You can see the bottom of it inside this opening. And there's a very faint circle right there in the middle. With something coming out of the middle of it. Yeah, we're still live there, Phil. Oh, yeah, absolutely, brother. Alien Tenor says the structure that's been smashed to pieces. The sand is fake. Yeah, I think this is all CGI. And it's done by AI, by the NASA. Just keep doing letters. It sounds like intelligent. Yeah, Ricardo, what'd you go walk away for? He said, oh, heck. I missed loads while was away getting food. I see with my little eye red rocks. Oh, yeah. And some of these rocks have some pretty good details on for rocks. Yankee, yeah, you're right. Yep, the sand looks fake. Absolutely. I mean, you can just see like it's like something tried to go over, like a CGI, try to go over these objects. Like here's a perfect example. There's a hole right here. I'll put it right in the middle of the screen. Right here. Then you get this crap right here. And then there's another opening to it right here. It's almost like it's just tried to do its best ability to block out the object, but leave some of it open. Look at this shape right here. Here's a perfect example. What is that? Look at the shape of that. It's like outlined over or around the object or part of the object, and that's what it did to try to block it out. How is that possible? Mark Matheny, you said, okay, it's time to go. Love to all. Stay safe and keep your head on a swivel. Oh, yeah. Mark, hope you have a good one, man. I don't recall if you're in the States here or not, but if you are, have a good Thanksgiving there, right? With you and the family. Oh, Mimi, you gotta love the fake sand. It's the best. Got to love it. Like I said, it just looks so... Ew. Yeah. I don't know how anybody can look at this and go, oh, that's absolutely real. Look at that. That's what it is. We all got that, Mimi. You're right. Pareidolia sand gas. Yeah, it's that crap in the air. Look at this. I love this rock. This one's the best, too. Look at that. Looks like it's got this little white piece sticking out, and there's a shadow just below it. Look at the way that shape. Rock next to it here. This one here looks like a face screaming up to the left. It looks like it's got his mouth wide open, its eye right here. No, I'm kidding. It kind of looks that way, but I'm just kidding around. But look at this thing. What? There you go. That's a good one. National Airbrush Sanding Association. I like that, Oliver. Ha ha. Got to love that. Oh, yeah. Look at all these natural rocks. You know, it's like you want to ask NASA and say, hey, listen, I'm just curious. Do you hire kids from art school to do these? Well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Well, I don't know, man. I'm looking at this and I'm just laughing my butt off. Come on. Look at this. This is sad. Look at this mess over here. It's Jay, you said bomb debris for sure. Captain McMuffin, those are steps to the space trailer. Oh, I didn't know that. Look at this. Oh my God, I can't help but to laugh at these. These are great. These are the best. I love this. Look at this little white piece right here. Now this is between the actual wire harness. You can see it's on each side of the head of this. See how it's got the plug right here. Let's go to the other side. You got the cameras, nav cams and regular cams. Right here is another harness. Now we go to the other side. In between the actual head of this thing and the wire harness, look at this. This oval with a white in it. You guys see that? Let's not get too... Right there. Right inside there. That's natural? Oh, in 4K resolution. Yep. Oh, yeah. I just look at it and go, oh my God, how much BS can they throw at people? And people still keep believing this. Oh, this side is really cool. This is really neat. Let me just go ahead and say this right here. Let me see here. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just, while you guys are looking at that, I'm doing a quick text rather. As soon as I can find this, I'll be happy, and I'm not going to find it. Okay. Let's see. Esoteric gold. I thought I saw the putty tat. I did. It's just. Steve Gone. It's supposed to be soon. Anybody know the new date for the James Webb? Now, here's the funny part. Did you hear they had like a small accident with it? Which is really ironic. But something about it slipped off something. I don't think it came crashing down or anything. It just kind of slipped off. So they had a little mishap with it. I guess they were boxing it up and getting it ready to... I forget exactly when it's supposed to be going up. You could probably Google it. But they just literally had like a little mishap with it lately. And I'm going, oh my God, here we go. That's what we need, more delay. So I don't know if they're going to have to take this thing back out of the casing and everything else and make sure it's okay, like the mirrors and everything's aligned still, so on and so forth. I don't know. Now, this is the area I did on that block. Check this out. Look at this block now. Remember, it was like this rectangular block. What happened to everything? That's why I said, guys, I love the low res, you know, black and whites, basically raw, but not raw, until you see these all beautified and colored and everything, because they literally take everything out of them. Look at this. That's kind of funky looking rock. Got a nice, looks like it's got a rectangular top to it. And of course, it's all been colored in. You can see a little bit of white right there in this, and right there in the bottom at the end of this thing. See it right there? Look at this. Look at the way this thing looks here. Straight piece coming right out here. It's whiter or lighter in color. You can see these pieces going straight across, nice and horizontal. There's two pieces right here coming here. You got one on the right-hand side coming straight out of the back of this. Are we sure these are rocks, guys? Josh D said, James Webb, the 2nd of December. Strange thing is that launch, their web is more shaken, add vibration. Oh, okay. Will be more shaky. Well, the thing is, like I said, they had this small mishap where they were trying to load this thing up or do something with it. So I'm not so sure if it's going to delay that or what. Well, look at this. Barely anything you see here. I still say, even with this photo, whatever that was came from the top here, this flat piece up here. And it's fallen down here, and you can see where it busted at the very end of it. Now, the raw photo shows much better, you know, detail. Oh, yeah, look at this funky rock. I'll tell you what, the nature on Mars is like super intelligent. It can literally put stuff together that look like rocks. It's pretty good. They'll say, it's your pareidolia, man. That's what it is. I love these two things right here sticking out of this. Look at this. This rock right here in the middle. Looks like two pieces sticking out of there. Look at it. Snail, maybe? Oh, stone snail. Stone snails. That would be a pretty darn good group, wouldn't it? Oh. But even some of the things down here, look at long pieces here. Nice cube-looking thing down in the bottom here. Different colors, I might add. Look at that. Sure, that's natural. Sure. Oliver Klein says, brush it out, all of it. Pretty much. Mars the Second Genesis, if they are rocks, I'm the next pope. Well, you didn't know I was the pope, right? Look at this. Oh, my God. Look at this. So much CGI. How does that look natural to anybody here? Wow. And nobody questions these people. Now, check this out back here. Again, I've done an area similar to this. Check this out. Look at the way these rocks are. Now, I've done this area, I think, at one point. How does that look natural to anybody? These are structures. These are all structures being doctored up to look like they're buttes, whatever they want to put a label on them. Buttes, any kind of scarps, or whatever you want to call them. That's what they're trying to call them, folks. Look at that. You kidding me right now? Let's back up. Check these out. Oh, look at this. Looks like something's actually still exposed right there in the middle of this. Put it right in the middle of the screen. Even if you look at this one here, it looks like maybe it was built into like a rock or kind of a dome-looking rock. It looks like it's been blasted apart. I heard about that, Ricardo. He said, if for anyone who has not heard of Contact Aware Fill, please go look it up. I would bet that 100 euros are using it in some kind of automated way to hide stuff. That would not surprise me. It would not surprise me in the least bit. Look at this. Like I said, just this rock alone, supposed rock. Yeah, that looks natural. What's wrong with you guys? Of course it's natural. Sad Trans, thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate you. That's awesome. Like I said, I look at this, folks, and I can't help but to just cringe and then laugh. Oh, does this one have the same area too? Let me see. No, it does not. But there's an area. Look at this. Like every single one of them, they look like they're going in a certain direction. I look at this and I can see these pieces sticking out right here. See the way they're coming out straight? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are all structures as far as I'm concerned. Look at this one in the back. Like it doesn't quite take everything out, and that's the point. Look, you can just see the white. Can you guys see the white just coming through right here? Putting it right in the middle of the screen. A little bit of white there, and it comes down. It travels underneath this manipulation, comes down across here, and you can see this other, looks like a squared off box here or something. But check that out. Again, you're not going to see these in mountains or normal or natural surroundings. You just don't see that. Now, you can see layers of rock and erosion. Yes, absolutely. But not like boxed in and stuff like that. Come on. Alien Tenor, you said, wow, the Martian war must have been uber violent. That destruction comes from pure hate. Wait until you see, like I said, I've got like a photo that's showing a bunch of these, like, supposed to be these little scarps and buttes and all this other garbage. Wait until you see what I pull out of this one. Oh, yeah, you're just going to be like, how? You can just see like an overlay. It's so light you can barely see it unless you really look at it. And when you do look at it, you're just going, okay, I see this here, what looks like mountains, but how did this actually come in between the mountains? Oh, yeah, really bizarre, but really cool. And you got to look past the color, because you're looking past, you got to look, past the overall or the manipulated picture over the actual objects, and then you have to bring out what they're literally hiding, the lines and the bodies of these things. Wait until you see that one. That's cool. That's not the next one. That one there, wait until you see this one. It's, what did I label it? Best, what was it? What did I put? Hold on. Let me just move this. Yeah, it was like the best evidence for civilization on Mars is the next one coming up tomorrow. So you can see it early in the morning. It's, like I said, 10 a.m. Eastern. You guys can check that out. So it's long before everybody sits down and chows down and everything else. But I just look at this right off the bat. The first time I seen this, structures. All structures. That's it. Look, right here. Look at the face of this one here. Notice the faint line coming down. See that? You can just see it's just like put all over this. Structures galore. And you know what? I'm going to start going on to like NASA on Twitter and stuff to start posting these once they're actually enhanced. I'm going to say, when are you going to stop lying to the public? Why don't you start showing people what's really there? Stephen Porter, he said, I'm sorry. he said perhaps, rather, they should have put a Geiger counter on the rover to test the radiation. They already have. They've already seen radiation there. Xenon 29, a couple other elements and stuff like that. There 100% is radiation on that planet. So, and again, it kind of proves what Jean Brandenburg had said about the explosions on Mars, and there's proof of that. I believe, like I said, I don't know if it was the MAVEN or the MRO, but they went into the lower atmosphere of Mars and can actually sniff that out. Actually sniffed it out. So they know it's there, and it's in abundance where they know that there was some kind of explosion. Now, how they even wormed their way out of that one, I don't know. They're just kind of like, yeah, just talk about it, you know. I don't know. But to me, this is absolutely structures. It was a civilization on this planet, and I think we all know why. Like the DOD is actually pulling the strings for these guys. Look at this right here. Saying what they can do and what they cannot do, what they can divulge and what they cannot. And there you go. They're saying that, what was it? I'm trying to remember the other three, the smaller. They got Olympus Mons, which is the largest volcano, but then they got the other three. The one has actually got a cloud or something coming out of it again. So it just came on rapidly, just started forming, and it's doing the trail of smoke or steam or whatever it may be on the planet. Now, if it's a volcano, maybe it'll start to terraform the planet all by nature, or something else going on. Something from below the surface is expelling that. Now, I don't know, because I'm not so sure they sit over that same area with one satellite and just keep looking at that same area. They probably go back periodically and like, oh, well, this thing's actually spewing shit out again. I don't know. I really don't. But regardless, you know, whatever it is, it's doing it again. Pete's Vlogs, he said, definitely structures. Looks like they are airbrushed out. Yeah, it's almost like a, like I said, like a CGI or some kind of, you know, a CGI, but it's like AI doing it. Like it's going over these objects, and sometimes it just doesn't take it out. It just does not take it out. I don't know of any mountain that looks like this right here, nor this one, although it could look like a pyramid. But again, these pieces in the background, look at this funky looking thing. It's actually got a straight edge under it, and you can see what looks like these little features on it. No. I'd stake my life on it. There's no way. Lapsus, he said, at least the highly genius people have to tell some truth or they go mad. There is disclosure. Oh, yeah. Ricardo said, wasn't it strange how when I posted my first comment on You First Pluto video the other week with certain names like Hoagland and Brandenburg, it disappeared without a trace? Yeah, I remember you saying that. You said something about, where the heck did my comment go? And more than one person said this to me. I had one guy I was arguing back and forth with. He says, you're deliberately taking my comments up. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I was going back and forth with him. I said, they're right here. Oh, no, that's not what I said, listen, I could be on my live feed and they disappear. It'll say right there, it said, comment retracted. I'm going, what? I literally seen, I don't know how many, beyond there, it just disappear. Comment would just disappear. So it's not me doing it. Unless, of course, of just being foul-mouthed and being condescending and all this other crap. And I just go, yeah, I'll take them off then. You know, because it's not all older people that watch these videos, right? You might have your family and your kids are watching it and whatever, or they're just reading the comment, whatever it may be. You don't need to hear that trash, you know? Nice round circle piece inside here, or at least half round. See that? I said, I see these, they just look like just dressed up objects, anomalies that are being made to look like rocks. That's what it comes down to. Oh, yeah, look at that nice fake area. That's beautiful. Hey, look, it's the Andes. Huh. Yeah, Jay. It's these MFs taking comments off. Oliver Klein, you said that it's the opposite of what they make people think. There is air on most planets as the moon, and they are colonized for a long time. Oh, they are colonized for a long time. Not only from us. It's going on for long, and they are doing anything to hide it. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the purpose? I can understand them saying, listen, not only did we find what looks like microbial life, because now they have found organic molecules, so that's they're inching towards it. Slow disclosure. But why don't they just say, listen, we found out what looks like, even if you come up with something bizarre like, yeah, it looks like there's life on this planet. They found what looked like bones, and it looked like they might have been like Neanderthal, kind of Martian Neanderthal. We don't know. If you don't want to say anything about modern stuff, at least inch up to that. And then maybe a couple years from now, oh, look, we took this turn over this huge mountain, and we found what looked like structures. So they weren't just that. Let the people know what's really going on. It's as simple as that. But it's all about hiding everything. It looks like a platform sitting here or something like that. Like I said, they're taking high-quality photos. Look at this, off the side of this mountain. Look at this. When you stop and look at the one in upper right and the lower left, look at that. That's a normal rock? Look at the shape of these things. Almost looks like a freaking statue right there at the top one. And you can see the lines to it right here. Check this out. Look at the nice fine lines inside here. See that? Right there. And then look at the little pieces on there. What? Come on. Richard Bunt, you said, I say there's E.T. on that planet with legs, arms, and heads. I believe you're right. Let's see. Hey, Brian Owen, what's going on? Good to see you in there, man. I have arrived. Let's see. Daniel Webster, you said the scientists cannot be that stupid. They have to see this stuff. They just must not have the courage to speak up. Or they're just thinking, it's my eyes. Maybe it's my eyes, my pareidolia playing with me. And that's pretty much it. Because how do you bring NASA to court for this? Well, I mean, look at that, it's a rock. Well, it might be just a funky looking rock to tell you. But when you bring out the lines to these areas, like the one I'm going to show you, not this next video coming up tomorrow, but the one after that, I'm not sure when that will be on there, but we'll be doing that one soon. But it just goes to show you, it's like, look at these things. They don't look like a natural rock. Because people say, how do you know what a natural rock looks like? They're all different size shapes and everything else. That's true, absolutely. But when I look at that on the mountain, the one on the lower left and the one on the upper right, what? I'm sorry, I don't see that as normal. I don't see that natural. Josh D said amazing crap through that CGI crap. Well, yeah, exactly. Oh, there goes the train. Choo-choo. Captain McMuffin, yeah, bottom left corner. Look at these things. I mean, are we all just like pareidolia to the max, or are we seeing something that doesn't look natural? My opinion, it's not natural at all. Not in the least bit. Mini reaction. NASA's a clown factory. You got that right. Oliver, you said if they go public, everybody, would try to get in space, and everybody out there will get in. From politic disasters, hold on, it's moving on me here, to maybe space pest or invasions. Everything from that point could be possible. Well, yeah, I mean, who knows how they're going to react once they get there and they start colonizing Mars and coming back and forth, and if they don't bring some kind of weird bug back. And I mean, like somebody will get like a weird cold. Can you imagine that? That'd be just weird. Yeah. Nice straight lines down here. Got a couple lines crossing horizontally, one going down vertically. That's what it is. These hills have zippers on them. You just unzip it and you can go inside. And oh. Mimi says, it's all pareidolia swamp juice. See? I think we've all been sipping from the same cup. Hello, number 5. Thumbs down. Appreciate you being here, man. Ah, Chris's cat made my night even more special, let alone the live stream. A-ching! The Awoken One, what's going on? He said, I 100% believe Earth was not the only planet in our solar system that was once home to ancient intelligent life millions of years ago. I totally agree with you. I think everybody here agrees with that. Yeah, it's that swamp gas we just can't get rid of, can we? Hate that. Well, maybe they'll bring up something like a giant air vacuum and just get rid of it. What do you guys think? And Jay Fab says, hello from Scotland. Earthlings, seeing is believing. Absolutely, Jay. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's actually good film, Mark. Mark Jeffrey says, or come back with an organism like the film Life. That was a really good movie. Freaky, too, wasn't it? I am Merkin says, LOL, you said choo choo. There goes the train, and I glanced up at my screen, thought you were seeing more than me. It's like, man, what the heck's he seeing a train at? No. Wheels ain't looking too healthy, folks. Look at that. Not too healthy at all. But keep in mind, this thing has like a right here to the edge of this, to the right-hand side of this, there's actually a flex steel. You can see it right here. Here's one of the, right here. It's flex steel. There's one here. And they go all the way around inside this rim. And it's actually a ring. There's actually a ring, and this whole tire, or the whole wheel rather, I was going to say tire, yeah, like it's rubber. And so even if this wheel fell off, it'd still be able to ride on that ring. Of course, not very well. It's just sinking the sand. But the other, 5 wheels would get it through. But they're all in relatively rough shape. Not bad, but bad enough. Like this one here in the front. It's funny how they had the ones on the Spirit Rover and the Opportunity Rover, where, by the way, the Spirit Rover is the next video, and you're going to want to see this. Like I said, tomorrow's video. But they had a design. Now, don't get me wrong, they didn't go quite as far as this Rover, the Curiosity, but it doesn't matter. They didn't have any issues with the wheels on theirs, yet these, absolute trash. See the ring in here? This is like a flex steel. They kind of curl and go to each of them. They're like spokes on this wheel. And you can see the Allen head wrench or the star. I don't know if they're star driver bolts on these things or what. But you can see that. So even if the wheel fell off, it has a ring. At least it can at least stay on there. But how well it will travel is beyond me. But who knows? Oops. Stephen Porter said, Chris, if they colonize Mars, do you think they will take weapons with them? I would think so, but would it be for the indigenous life forms, or would it be for, let me go ahead and put my mug back on here, or would it be, let me just put it down a little bit, or would it be to kill off, like I said, or at least protect themselves from other people that might go nuts on there? I don't know. But if you go by the old story where people literally were in the jump room and went to Mars back in the 70s, and they said they were basically fighting off animals that were kind of like we would consider a dinosaur here on Earth. Things flying, anything. There's all kinds of weird things that want to eat you and everything else. I'm going, okay. Even if I was to believe that, do you think it wouldn't even try to attack the rover? And let's say they can't do any damage. You can guarantee if these things are big as they claim that they were, then they'd be biting on the wire harnesses and everything else, and they would just quit running. At least that's what I would think. But what do I know? I'm not here. I'm not there, rather. Lapis, stick your down thumb somewhere. Stick it where the sun don't shine. Yeah, I seen that earlier, Brian. Looks like a question mark under the so-called statue. Let me show you give you a little, let me see if it's this one. Yeah, this is the area we're going to be looking at, folks. Wow. Now, I've done this before, because it looks like it's got this same, ridge and bridge down here. Oh, wait until you see this. What looks like a bunch of smaller buttes and stuff like that. Nah. if you look at it, doesn't this look a lot like we just looked at, right? Right here. So when you look at this area, see that? There it is. Look at the way it's changed. Oh, that's a different one. That one's actually a good picture. I want to show you that too. That's kind of funny. But there they are. But what's in this picture is much more. Keep hitting that one. I need to slide that one over. What do you guys think? It's like it's the same area, but it's not. But either way, when you see this one, wow. Everything just comes right out. And when you see it, like I said, there's an overlay that they've literally tried to get these lines out of here. But you can't get them all out. Just look at this pinkish like crap all over this. They're trying to take the lines out of this photo, but there's so much more in here to see. It even blew my mind. Now, the only thing I have a problem with, and I explain that. Well, I'm going to explain it in that video, but where you don't know once this has been enhanced if it's all one giant item or because there's some behind the others and everything else, it makes it look like it's one big item. But, you know, that's explained in that video as well. Not tomorrow's, but the next one. Really, really cool. But it just goes to show you, like, here's a perfect example. This area here. Notice how all of these kind of slope down in the front. Let me just back up a little bit. Here, 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 and here. They're all like all sloped and they're single pieces. Take a closer look at this one. You see very fine lines. There's horizontal lines going across with a cross member coming down, like something coming down in between them. Very, very faint. And there's a line going like this here. I don't know if you guys can see that on your screens. Let me just make it bigger. But you can see horizontal lines doing this here. One going across, one going across over here. There's something whitish or lighter color coming straight down between them. There's a line right here. You can see it's darker inside here, lighter on top, and you can see the actual line to it. Back out a little bit. These are not mountains, folks. They never have been. Just really cool stuff. Pete's Vlogs, you said, I believe there are aliens inside structures in mountains. Yeah, they might have actually housed themselves in there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point. Alien Tenno said, imagine just for a second being on Mars just before the crap storm happened to them. Yeah. Can you just imagine? You just say, okay, there's no way out of this. I'm going to die. It's just, you're pretty much dead. They had marked off a couple things. Not sure what they're seeing here. That's kind of funky here on the right-hand side, almost near this line. That's pretty interesting. The stuff at the top near the line, right there. Look at that right there. That's metal. You can see there's actually metal right here. You can see this piece going right here. Yeah, look at the way that is, folks. I'll put it right in the middle of the screen there, just below that line. Right there in the middle of it. Wow. Even to the left here. There's stuff right here in the left corner of this on the top. That is not natural. Notice there's like, it looks like almost like a gun gray, and then the rest of it's all of this manipulation put over it. You can see it. It's almost like a art-shaped something or other right there, like a bent piece of steel. And you can see it's like a silverish. All of a sudden it's got this kind of peachy, white-looking crap all over it. Yeah. John P. Adventure says, I love these live midweek chairs, Chris. Well, I appreciate it, John. Chairs as well. Yeah, I just decided to just jump on there because, like I said, because basically it was for the anniversary of Sarah's passing. And I was trying out this microphone, too, because this is one I bought a while back, and it works great. But it didn't seem to work when I first put it in line. I'm like, what's going on with this? And found out it happened to be the wrong cord. And I don't mean that it didn't fit it, because clearly you can only put one cord in it. But it must have had like a break, and it was like an older cord or something. I said, how the heck did this thing get mixed up? Then, of course, I found the original one, and it was just rocking and rolling. So, oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Alien Tenno, yeah, you're right about that. It will. Chris, I bought an LG OLED TV, and This TV takes this pic to another level. Yeah, yeah, if you see it like in a 4K and, of course you got a good, I don't know if you got like internet on that one, so some of them do, some of them don't. Actually, there's very few compared to, regular TVs or smart TVs. But if you can go on YouTube and then, of course, get on here, yeah, it's totally different. Hendrik Cole, what's going on? So good evening, everyone. Lovely to see some familiar faces. Hope everyone is wearing well during these difficult times. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing good as well. Dog Creek Customs, you said, I wonder if there is any filters we can use that will bring out the most it can out of the photos. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I try to bring out the lines that they try to get rid of. So if you get rid of anything, whether it's shadows, black lines, black details in an object, what happens? You lose the depth of the photo. You lose the edges of these parts or whatever they may be, or structures, whatever they may be. You lose all of that because there's no shadowing or darker areas or edges or anything because most of it gets taken out. Well, and including if they do like an overlay over the whole photo to begin with. So once you bring that back, you're not bringing back the whole photo, don't get me wrong, but you are bringing back some really wild-looking things in here. And like I said, this next video, you're going to want to see this next one tomorrow. And then, of course, I got the other one. It may come out probably in the beginning of the week, so you have to check that out. So I got some real cool ones coming up. You guys are going to love these. And once you bring this out, it's like a lot of it just looks like it's a bunch of mumbo-jumbo until you centralize on certain parts. Then you go, wow, now I'm starting to see this thing through this overlay. So the best you can do is try to drag the lines out of it, and these things actually start taking shape. And some of these you don't have to do that. You can see these, like these right here, because they're way up close and not these dressed up, overlaid, they're supposed to be buttes and everything else, but they're not. But these structures, right? Jay Bose has finally caught up and catch a live feed. Yeah, this is not typical. I mean, I don't do these on Wednesday. I made an exception because of the anniversary of Sarah's passing. And like I said, I was messing around with this microphone and wanted to do that. So that's why we're on today. I'm not sure, again, I said this earlier, and people are asking me, Chris, you're going to be on Friday? I'm not 100% sure. But I'll put it in the community chat so you guys will see it. So I'll probably put it on Friday morning. Of course, it'll be, Eastern time. And I'll let everybody know whether I'm going to do it or not. I may still jump on there. I'm not sure at this point. So I'm not going to say yay and yes to that yet. So just stay tuned for that. But, yeah, I probably will be able to do it. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure yet. There you go, Brian Norton. Yeah, looks like 70s TV resolution. Yeah, they were supposed to be doing that soon, aren't they, John P? He said, Chris, are you going to watch the Dark Mission? Will it be on video live? I read about that. I'm not sure when is that supposed to be, John? It's supposed to be soon. And that's going to be interesting. I believe that's the one that's aimed at taking out comets and stuff like that, right? If I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what it is. What's going on in Habit Mars? Good to see you in there. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. You didn't catch a COVID or anything, did you? Getting a little better every day. Still can't do any work on the computer yet, but hope to be back in full swing pretty soon. Well, I hope you recover quickly. Jay Bo says he's taking off later, Chris, and all. We're going to be doing the same pretty soon, within another 5 minutes. That's just awesome because at first I'm going, everybody's going to go lose their minds. They're going to go, that can't be Chris live. There's no way. Not on a Wednesday. Because typically, my wife has off on Wednesday, so we run out and we do things and get things done. So I don't usually even put a video out on a Wednesday. But so usually it's like Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and then of course the live feed on Friday. So But I was like I said, I had reasons to do it today. Um, and it was just I got on there. And I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to be even aware that I'm on, so I'll just test the mic and kind of fought around with it. Then everybody jumped in, so I said, okay, cool. What's going on there, Mr. Jonathan Waddell? Good to see you in there. Mimi, you said that thing on the left side looks like a pipe sticking out of the sand. You talking about right now at this picture here? Because there's some really weird things. Yeah, you can. I don't know if you're talking about this piece right here. Yeah, it's just some freaky stuff on the surface of Mars, right? And looking at these things, they look like they're intelligently made. They've been manufactured somehow. You got that right, Pat. A disposable camera would take better pics than this. Well, I mean, they start off probably pristine, HD, awesome, and then, of course, they get processed. And not in a good way either. Yeah, exactly. Dog Creek Customs, you said, yeah, I find it strange we have software that does everything else but this. LOL. Yeah, exactly. They're very crafty at what they do. Trust me when I tell you. For like years, a couple years, I was trying to figure out just exactly how they did this because I couldn't wrap my mind around the idea. I'm going, well, they're doing it like this, and I'm not sure how they're doing this. So then I seen like this weird overlay over the actual objects. I was like, oh, hold on. Then I started to tweak and get better and better and better at it till, basically anybody who does these, including Inhabit Mars, you know what I'm talking about, where you hone your skills to where you can bring the stuff out. So it's just absolutely crazy some of the things you can find in here. John P., you said today or tomorrow. I'm not sure what you mean. There's a video coming out tomorrow on Thursday in the morning. So if you guys want to check it out, you can do that. Like I said, before you eat. Or you're going to be busy and you won't be able to. That's fine too. But it'll be there. And then, like I said, I got another 2 or 3 of them coming out. I think I'm just trying to get these things out. My God. There's so many things to find. And sometimes I just do them on the fly. Somebody said, hey, can you check out this picture? And I'm like, okay. And then sometimes you don't really find anything really... What's the word I want to use that's really impressive. Something that's coming out that you can see pretty easily. I mean, sometimes you got to bring the stuff out. And then some things are like this here. You can see where, even though it's different colors have been manipulated a little bit, you can see there's things on there that doesn't quite look like rocks at the very center and under that line. Nor does the stuff to the left of it in that left corner. And then down a little bit, you can see that little shiny piece. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Steve Gonery said a comment deflector. Yeah. Yep. That's what I thought. Pat Owen says NASA is using software that rockifies images. Absolutely does. Makes everything look natural. It's got to be some kind of algorithm they got this thing set up to do. So if it sees anything of any, you got to put this in the computer. A computer is only as smart as you make it. Right? So, in other words, the information you put in, you'll get out. So, if you put it on there and you get this thing to say, if you see these shapes, whether domed or this or that, the other, just kind of go over it, just do your thing, do your magic, and that's pretty much it. But the computer is only as smart as what's being programmed into it, right? Steve McGonagall says, good night, Chris, and all, until we meet again. All right, Steve, thanks for coming by and just saying hello. I appreciate that. So, again, have a good Thanksgiving there with you and the fam, and we'll see you soon. Dog Creek, you said what you just circled with the cursor looks like an airport to bring in fresh air into the bottom shot. Yeah, I mean that or this right here. There's an actual hole right here too. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. It looks like a hole there. I don't see anything big over it that's actually casting a shadow on it, so I'm not sure what that is. Right there. Let's say some other whiter pieces back here in the upper right corner right there. And it's being covered up by a lot of this stuff. It's like Spot. Like it's Spot puts this stuff on there, but when you see that, that's just crazy. Ricardo Petrozzi says, hey everyone, gotta go. So night-night and take care. We'll see you on the next one, as they say. All right, Ricardo. Appreciate you being here, brother. Have yourself a good one as well there, right? What's going on there, Les Sweet? Good to see you in there. Double asteroid redirection test. Yep, DART. Mission NASA manipulation of rocks. They're going to manipulate them, all right. Makes you wonder if they know something we don't that's out in space and that they want to try to blow it to pieces and maybe have a better look at it. Think about that a minute. Or it might be just something nothing at all, meaning they're just trying to, like you said, trying to deflect something that may be coming our way. But it'll probably be like Armageddon, right? The movie Armageddon, where they'll hit it and there's like a million pieces and we're all screwed anyway. So I don't know. Yeah, it's weird that you guys are not seeing it. It's a great for all, no more thumbs down number. They changed it. Well, they're supposed to actually be doing that, I heard. They're supposed to take the thumbs down out. Not that I don't know why. I don't care. You know, but I can see it here. So I don't know if you mean in the future, because I know I heard they were supposed to take that feature out. I'm going, why does it matter? I mean, it never mattered anyway if they thumbs down or not. It's all the people that can appreciate the work and have done it themselves as well that, you know, obviously those are the ones you're concerned about. Juxta Billy, what's going on? He said, I totally agree with you, Chris. Brian Norton says, I'm out too, Mars fam. Wife wants to go shopping. Me see you guys Friday. Like I said, just look out for the community chat. I'm either going to say whether it's going to be one or not. That'll be Friday morning, my time, Eastern time. So, because like I said, I'm not sure timing-wise whether I'm going to be able to do that or not in the afternoon. So, just stay tuned for that, and we'll see what's going to go on. Yeah, that would be bad. Mimi Reaction said, if the moon falls on Earth, we are as good as death. Pretty much. Pretty much. It's like, good knowing you. Lapis, she said they take out the thumbs down for big media channels, I heard. Could very well be. Could very well. All right, guys, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to jump off of this bad whamma jamma. I appreciate everybody just stopping in. I mean, truthfully, I didn't think there's going to be that many people. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. Appreciate you. But yeah, we're going to jump on off of this too. I'm glad everybody was able to, you know, the letters I wrote, not I wrote, but read, and what Julia had sent us. So thank you again, Julia. Very nice. And like I said, it's something, you know, like I celebrate now because of Sarah, the work that she's done and what she's brought to the table. It's just really, really cool. So, you know, that's what I think about when I think of her. And then, of course, I get kind of a little saddened there because it's just somebody's been cut down so soon at such a young age. It just should never happen. I don't care. You know, it's one thing to be like in your 60s and 70s and 80s and everything. You know, you go, oh, okay, well, you're getting older, things are happening to you. But when you're 5 years old, 2 years old, 24, come on. There's no reason for that crap at all. But anyway, on that note, we're going to let everybody go. Everybody here in the States, or whoever does actually celebrate Thanksgiving, everybody have a really good, okay. I'm like, what is that? But everybody have a safe one. Eat a lot. Just be careful. You don't want to blow up. And like I said, after I'm done eating tomorrow, I'm sure I'll have to jog from here to probably the West Coast, probably California, just to burn off some of that. So I enjoy it. I'm sure everybody else does too. But anyway, guys, much love to everybody. Be safe. Have a great time with your families. Chill. Don't worry about what's going on in the world. If it's negative, just leave it behind. Everybody be safe, again, like I said. And just enjoy the Thanksgiving. Anyway, guys, peace. Much love to you all. See you soon.